Perfect topic.
All right. Hello, family. I'm a grateful recovering addict named T.
Amen.
How's everybody doing today? Ain't it great to be clean? My clean date, 12/11/97. And for me, when it comes to my clean time, it's not about counting days. It's about making days count. And that's what it is for me. I'll be honest with you. Even though I've been here for a few sips of coffee, just for the days, few readings, it doesn't get easier because the more and more I come here and more and more I share with others, I don't care if it's in my home group's level, I don't care if it's in this level like this. I got to still peel that layer of the onion, man. And that's still some comfortable stuff. Keep coming back. It gets a little comfortable sometimes. Thanks for that topic. Yeah. I'm going to say this. I'm going to get this off right now. What I'm going to share is my story, not yours. I'm going to share my story. So if you get offended about this, call your sponsor. If you don't have a sponsor, please get one. If you need one, I got my number. I'll give it to you. I took some suggestions today. I had to look that up. I got on the new stuff now, Google and everything, and I heard variance, but this is what I got out of it. Where it says variance, some are sicker than others. It says the state of fact of disagreeing or quarreling. They were variants with all the previous allies, and synonyms were conflict, contrasting, incompatible, irreconcilable. Basically, differences, judging, and I need to say, man, this is a topic where I myself being here for quite a while, and just like the literature tells us, we have a fixed idea. Okay, I had a fixed idea when I was getting high, because I had a fixed idea of getting high, smoking, drinking, the whole deal. Fixed idea what the female was going to do for me and maybe do something for her. Fixed idea that the landlord was going to ignore me even though I was late on the rent for like about 6 months. You know what I mean? That he's going to let this pass. How about having a fixed idea clean? A way I think things should be. See, I'm going to touch on some things. I'm sorry if I offend anybody. I'm going to talk literature. That's what I do. But the thing is that I'm going to touch on step 10. I'm going to touch on the 12th tradition. And I'm going to touch on the first tradition. Okay? I'm going to start off because, like I said, I'm going to talk about me. How I look at people. I used to talk about, and no, that's bullshit. I still do. Come on now. I still do. I love it. We don't judge others. We don't judge others. Stay away from people, places, and things. That's part of the judgment. The thing is, when I judge people, I don't judge them and throw them away. I know how to handle people. It gives me some things to look at. I got to keep it real. When I put myself in situations and I wonder what happens and backfires, who gives out the information? Me. Sometimes I could give up too much information and expect that fixed idea that everybody's going to be well and everybody's going to be the same plane, and they're not. Gee, that's why I got a sponsor. Gee, that's why I got a higher power, which I call God. That's what they taught me. Not everything I got to put in a level that's got to be the group. Because, like you said, some are sicker than others. Some are in different planes of recovery. See, what my man's stronger at in that area, I might be weak at that area. Not everybody can handle things. See, that's why the beauty of what this fellowship gives me is that I have an option when I get to know people, not just 1 hour in here, when I get to actually know people outside of here, I know how some information I can give to and some I don't have to give to. That's the beauty of this fellowship. I got to keep in a time frame too, because I get long-winded too, like I said, I'm sharing my experience. If I want to share workshops, I should have been here earlier. But the point is, this is about my experience. And it says right here in step 10, often we act in ways that are contrary to our values, yet we expect others to live up to the standards. For instance, we may find ourselves flinching when we hear others gossiping about someone. Following such an occurrence, we are likely to be self-righteous until we catch ourselves doing the same thing. Other situations can occur when we become super critical of others. Facebook. I don't like what he said. He's in a different frame of mind. I don't know why. Okay, delete. Because like I said, I want people to live up to my ideas, fixed ideas. So if here's a hit, I'll delete everybody in here. And guess who I'm left with? Me. And we already know. And it says in our literature, addict alone is in where? Bad company. All right. You see, and for example, we may have a tendency to have high expectations of others. Gee, they're talking about me. Okay. Or how I think my sponsees should act. Oh, yeah, I went there. I told you. Bill, I told you. However, we may have a variety of excuses at hand when they are standards that don't apply to us. My favorite, the alibi system is many forms, because I have it. And the one thing I know about me is literature. There was a time I can be that person, and I'm not talking about what I used to be. I'm talking about as an addict in recovery, a member of Narcotics Anonymous. Will take this literature, use it as an assault weapon. The basic text is an M16, and it works how I watch a banana clip, and I'll start firing at everybody. Because I'm judging you because your sins don't match my sins. And then I'm sitting there, and I've been in that dark area where I told people one time, and I'll never forget this. This is when back when I had I'd say about 7 years clean. And I was in a lot of areas and a lot of meetings, and I didn't like how their behaviors was, because you know what? I was getting attacked. And I felt that I should never get attacked. Don't you know who I am? I don't think I should get attacked. And the addict that I am, I love to run. I said, F you guys and Narcotics Anonymous. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hide in that liquid 12-step fellowship, because they all act a lot better than you. And that's what I did for quite a while, because I didn't want to deal with the internal, those little forces that we talk about, the differences of opinion, those issues that really we say as addicts, but really they're human issues. Okay? They're human tendencies. So I hid there, but the problem was there's some things I can't share there because I'm an addict. And those people from that liquid fellowship told me, are you sure you really belong here? And they wasn't telling me to be mean. They was telling me that they can't help me with those areas, and they're right. See, me and my little feelings, you're pushing me out of you. Get out of no. It led it back to really when my childhood was. If I look at my step work, my original 4th step, I'm talking about my abandonment issues. I'm talking about, being a little kid who took his first substance, which is cough syrup, at the age of 6, living on the Hill District. and talking about my mom. She used to work for years. She used to work for years at Bell Telephone. She used to work overnight. She was a single parent. See, here's the hit. I'm going to get down even deeper. I'm a product of a one-night stand. I never met my father. Okay? I tried to adopt my younger sister's father as mine. And he said, son, I'm not your dad. Imagine telling a 5-year, 6-year-old kid that. And that ripped my heart apart. So if I'm talking about all these abandonment issues that I got, guess what? They were there and they grew along with my disease. So it's always been the conflict of me and you. Because either I'm going to try my best to impress you and get out of myself, which I've done for years, lived a lie, masks, the whole deal. And or if you reject me, or I feel that you reject me, self-centeredness is core of our disease, then I want no parts of you. Then guess what? I'm going to attack you before you attack me. Yeah. Like I said, this until I actually really had to really get down to all this, it took some things. It took me to understand things, and like I love and see the thing about sponsorship. It's the thing about actually, this is this whole thing about this program to me is a recipe. You know what I mean? And the truth is, we learn to be ourselves. And we talk about our 12th tradition as a group as a whole. We learn to be ourselves. And then see, here's the thing about it. Always going to be conflict. See, for me, I don't like when someone else. See, I don't like, my conflicts is this. When I pick apart somebody, but there's an old saying, and it's called, if you spot it, you got it. Yep. And I spot it. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to get upset with that one person and everything else. But the truth is, I got that same thing. And it talks about that in Tradition 12 in our Guiding Principle book, that we test each other's limits all the time. And each of us has particular challenges with members or behaviors we cannot seem to tolerate. We don't have to like everyone in NA, but we turn our attention to our reactions rather than the person or thing we react to, or we may find relief much sooner. So in other words, for me, learn love and tolerance, and see, I had to get in touch with that, because my whole problem is really relationships. After the get high, then what? I know the whole thing is about mending relationships. That's what the steps are for. Mm-hmm. That's what they're for. How dare I spit principles and before personalities and all this stuff, and I haven't even really looked at what really was the root cause of what was broken inside of me. That's what the steps teaches me. In order for me to understand why it works, I better understand how it works. So, with all that saying, for me, I had to really look at myself and why did I do these things. And it goes back to, once again, I never rectified my past. I never made my amends the way it should have been outlined. I never really did that until I start doing that. And I start to understand, that forgiveness, you know what I mean? But it also had to come through forgiving myself, because I never forgave myself for understanding that was not my part when I was growing up. Once I start forgiving myself, I had to realize, too, we're all sick people, you know what I mean? And we all come in here, with our own thing. And part of that for me is love and tolerance. So I'm learning these principles, and like I said, I've been clean for over 23 years, and more. I'm still learning. More will be revealed. And I tell you what, one of the biggest blessings was that me and a couple other members started this home group, and it's been an honor for me to start this home group. And my home group's the Solutions in the Literature group. We meet down in the Now Recovery Center every Saturday, 7 p.m. And we get back to the literature, what this is. And I've learned, too, that I learned how to love people again. And that love people to where now this is about giving back. Giving back what's so freely given to me. If you're new, give yourself a break, please. This program works if you work it. Thanks.
All right.